Good morning, folks from South Africa's East Coast here on the Indian Ocean, Durban. Waves crashing behind me here early this morning. So last night, Rob Hersoff on Biz News announced the formation of something called the Truth Report, mentioned several content creators who will participate in this report, and my name amongst them. Some of the comments I saw on me doing a subsequent video confirming that to be the case. Some people are complaining about some of the content creators. What I would say is the following, folks. Some people question Rob Hersoff, some people question citizen concern. That's your prerogative, and it's your right, and it's actually in line with what I ask my viewers to do, to think critically. You shouldn't necessarily automatically believe something someone tells you unless you've evaluated it, or your sources become very reliable. So Rob is relatively new on the social media scene, although he's been talking about things for a while now, about 3.5, 4 years. But the bottom line here is this concern is relatively new on the scene too. She's put a lot of content out of it, some of it excellent. But I know some people take exception to her comments about farm murders, as did I. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's an unreliable source of news. It just means that we have a difference of opinion. And differences of opinion are what make communities strong. You should be able to voice your difference of opinion when you disagree with someone. That doesn't necessarily mean you want to rubbish them and say goodbye to them and they disappear forever. They're not part of your interest. So what I'm saying is that if you find the Truth Report, once it goes hot and goes live, and you find content that you find appealing, then fantastic, and I hope you do, including my content. I'd be very grateful. But if you find content that you don't agree with, that's fine. You can comment on it, and you don't have to watch it if it offends you or if you feel it's incorrect. Or you can also, point the content creator in the right direction if they've gotten something wrong. You can put a positive comment on there saying, listen, I understand your point, but that's not accurate because of the following reasons. Here's the data, here's where you can find the information. So my point here is, folks, is that discourse is what matters. When I started doing videos on YouTube focused on politics and trade and things like that in 2020 after I left active military service, I tried to foster that conversation because throughout my adult life, I've always done that. I've always been in an environment where I could talk to people freely, and if we had a discussion where we disagreed, we would be adults and we'd walk away. What I quickly discovered in 2020 is on social media, things don't really work like that. Social media is full of self-loathing, hate-wanking trolls who either get paid or spend their life trying to disrupt other people's lives and create chaos. And I was a bit naive when I started that, so I'm not so naive these days. But my point here is that for those with genuine discourse, genuine differing views that want to share those views and maybe perhaps convince the content creator to take a different direction or look differently at things, you're welcome. And you'll be welcome on the Truth Report as well. And we hope that you find the content compelling. It's certainly something new in the space. I've already had one commenter calling it lies because the thing is named Truth. Well, ironically, if you think about it, in the Soviet Union, the state organ, state media was Pravda, which is truth in Russian. So no tie to that whatsoever. The point here was be more along the lines about, providing the truth that's available. Now, you can decide whether you agree with the truth or not, and there'll be mechanisms that give you a chance to evaluate the content, and I think you'll find that compelling. But I think we're going to find a number of trolls will also find that there, and they'll probably have their fun with that. Whatever the case is, folks, the Truth Report, Rob Hersoff announced that it will be going live in 3 weeks. I don't know if that is the date. Last I talked to folks working very hard behind the scenes in the alpha and beta versions of what's going on. They were looking that date or a little bit later, but whatever the case is, it will be appearing soon. And I think a lot of people are very excited about it. Regardless of what happens with or without the Truth Report or any other social media or any other media site that's out there, and there's a few other things that are under the radar right now that are working. Regardless of any of those things, folks, the bottom line here is that I will still be on YouTube, unless YouTube kicks me off. I'll still be producing videos there, and I'll still be writing for newspapers and media sites. So you'll still be able to find me, and that'll still be my primary focus. The Truth Report is a secondary focus, not a primary focus. A site like that's going to have aggregation of multiple content creators, and so it's not going to need all my content. It'll need specific, tailored, targeted content for the audience on there. So you should be able to watch the Truth Report and your favorite content creators wherever you watch them already. I hope that explains things a little bit better, and I do hope that you give the Truth Report a chance and see what it has to say. I'm going to give it a chance, and if you don't agree with everything that Ronaldo says, or that I say, or Morning Shot says, or Citizen Concern, or Rob Hersoff, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, and you should be able to listen to what you like to listen to. If you don't like it, then you don't have to watch it. So that's the bottom line here. But for the trolls, find a new life. There's better things in life to do than harass people who are working hard to bring the truth to the world. Cheers.